Hey everyone! Welcome back to Susan Sunday Spotlight. It is week number 6. I have been loving doing these videos. I hope you guys are liking them too. If you have used any of the ones in the past, go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know what you've been liking, if you've put any kind of twists on them, and also let me know if there's any types of games you are looking for. I've done a lot of like phonics and math games. Today's game will be a little bit of both. But yeah, make sure you leave a comment below and let me know what you're looking for so I can go ahead and add that to my list of games. As always, if you're loving these games, please go ahead and give them a thumbs up and make sure to hit subscribe down on my channel button. And once you hit subscribe, you can click that little bell right next to it, and that will give you an email every single week when my new video is live. So let's get on to this week's game, which is called What's Missing? So What's Missing is basically a warm-up game. I like to use this in small group, and I definitely have used this during my morning meeting time. So when I do my morning meeting, we would all be sitting on the ground, we'd have our little morning message, and underneath our morning message, I would always have a little review of something we are working on or something we have already worked on. So What's Missing would be a great activity to put there. And I like to have it because students, when they, like I said, when they come in and they're sitting in a circle, before morning meeting starts, they're already looking at it and they're kind of getting their brains working. So this would work great whole group. I've also done this, I actually did this last year with my literacy pullout groups. So I would have one of these on the board ready for them as a warm up. So those first couple seconds of pulling your guided reading groups, when you're trying to like, get everything together, their brains are actively working during this warm up. So let me go ahead and zoom you in on the back here and I will explain how to play What's Missing. Okay, I'm pretty sure I have you zoomed in here now. The idea of this game is very simple. It is called What's Missing, and students, they need to go ahead and look at the list that you've given them and figure out what is missing. So I have two different ways I've kind of done this. I'll start over here. At the beginning of the year, this is a great example of what I would do during my morning meeting. So after we've kind of practiced counting by twos, I might go ahead and write this down. 2, 4, 6. I'd purposely keep out 8, 10, 12, 14. And students would just look at that little list and try to figure out what is missing. First, they would recognize that we are skip counting by twos, and then they would have to figure out that the 8 is missing. Same over here, I might chop off a part of the alphabet basically. D, E, F, G, H, I is missing, and the J. I would usually have like 2 or 3 of these sort of strings of letters or numbers at a time so they can look through each one because one of them is a little short. But again, it's just a quick warm-up. On the other side is what I use more often, and I definitely use these in small group for guided reading because they're so focused. So for this one, we are missing a letter, and the students need to figure out which letter is missing. For this one, obviously, it's O. The letter's O, in case you couldn't tell. But it could, when you're looking at the first ones, it could also be A, because map would work and tap would work. And when they get to this last one, frag, that doesn't work. So then they go back and mop, top, frog. That's something that I do often during my small group because again, I can really focus in on what they're working on, whether it's short vowels, long vowels, digraphs, blends, etc. I do like to make them tricky like that one where it could be 1 or 2 letters if I can. When I do the second half, the letters that are missing, I do that in small group a lot. Like I said, I will usually have this board up and I will have at least 3 different sets of what's missing so they can, like I said, come to the table and get ready and kind of warm up as I'm getting everything ready. So I've also done this one before in my small group where I will actually have it kind of be an independent activity where I will give each student a brown paper bag, and inside the brown paper bag there are 4 or 5 different cards that look just like this. So each card would say like M, underline, P, and it would be missing a letter, and in the bag they'd all be missing the same letter. They have to figure out what's missing in that bag. And the bags would be numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I've done this before too where I give each student in my group a bag, and each bag is going to be missing a different vowel or letter or whatever. So it's going to be missing something different. And students will quietly take out their cards, try to determine what's missing, and they'll go ahead and write it on their note-taking sheet. So their note sheet, well, I mean, you can just make like a little grid that just says bag 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so if they are holding bag 2, which I'll write on the outside of the bag, they have to write what they think is missing. And then when they're done, they put the cards back in, we wait till everyone's finished, and pass the bag around. This is like a little longer, but it's a good way to kind of assess how students are doing independently and individually. And then we compare at the end to see if we figured out what was missing in each bag. Since I've already created a bunch of those cards for all sorts of different subjects, I can go ahead and link those below. It's something new that I've uploaded to my TPT store. Again, you can totally make them yourself, but in case you wanted to look at those and have them readily printed out for you, you can go ahead and grab those in the link below. So that's another simple activity for you to use this week. The game is called What's Missing. As always, if you use these games, please let me know and share with me using the hashtag #SusanSundaySpotlight. I would love to kind of see what you guys are doing in your classroom. And again, if you have any sort of comments, please leave them down below so I can see them and respond. I'll see you next week. Bye! My hair is greasy. Thank God for dry shampoo.